in the morning, turn your phone in as soon as you hit that door. I'm not gonna tell y'all. As soon as you hit that door, turn your phone in. Why? Because you're on my clock here. I'm telling y'all from this point on, it ain't by catching y'all at home. If I catch you after 9 with your phone, you're fired. And take it for what it is. And I'm gonna take what come with it. And I'm telling you what it is. So I'm telling you, from tomorrow on, if you get that tap from one of the managers, I'm not gonna play with you, fired.
Well, it's still kind of hard to believe the whole trajectory of the Turkey Leg Hut, isn't it?
It really is.
I mean, from those massive lines, its cultural significance in Houston, to now this.
Yeah.
We're diving into the federal arson arrest of its co-founder, Lynn Price, the former face of the place.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we're really focusing on, the arrest itself. We're looking at news reports, official documents, the indictment, some really serious charges here.
Right. So our mission really is to help you understand the key events leading up to this point and just how serious these allegations against Price are.
Okay, so let's start with the arrest itself. Lynn Price was arrested in Houston. That was around April 25th last year.
And this wasn't just like a local police thing.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
You had the FBI involved, the ATF, Houston Fire Department's Arson Bureau. Quite the joint effort.
Wow. And reports mentioned he was actually in tears during the arrest.
Yeah, that was noted in some of the initial reporting.
Yeah.
Seemed like a pretty emotional moment.
Okay, so this arrest stemmed from an indictment, right? That happened a bit earlier.
That's right, April 8th. And interestingly, it was sealed at first.
Ah.
And Price wasn't the only one named. Two others, Armani Williams and John Lee Price. No relation to Lynn, apparently.
Got it. No relation. And the core of these charges, it revolves around a specific fire.
Yes, the fire at Bar 5015. That happened back in June 2020.
And all three are charged in connection with that.
Correct. Conspiracy to commit arson of a commercial building, and then the actual arson charge itself.
And the allegations are pretty specific from what I understand.
Very specific. The indictment alleges that Lynn Price essentially recruited and paid Williams, John Lee Price, and maybe others to set that fire.
Paid them to do it. Wow. Now, Bar 5015. There's a connection there, isn't there, with Price's history?
There is. The owner, Steve Rogers, was a former business partner of Lynn Price.
Okay, that seems significant.
Right. And their history wasn't exactly smooth. There were major legal battles, a lawsuit over financial mismanagement filed shortly after the fire, and then another one later about a buyout.
So definitely bad blood there, potentially.
The court documents suggest a, let's say, severely strained relationship. It certainly points towards a possible motive, Competition was also mentioned as a potential factor.
And the indictment details how they allegedly did it.
It does. It alleges Williams and an unnamed co-conspirator bought gasoline, gas cans, face coverings.
Okay.
Drove a black Ford Fusion to Bar 5015 on Alameda Road, poured gasoline, and lit it up around 4:44 a.m., June 12th, 2020.
That's specific.
Yeah. And look at this. There was allegedly a call made to Lynn Price just minutes later, around 4:47 a.m., like a confirmation, and then payment followed.
And the fire itself
Caused a significant explosion and major damage to the building.
Man. Okay, but that wasn't the only arson charge, was it? There was something about a vehicle.
Correct. A separate charge. Conspiracy to use an interstate facility to commit arson of a vehicle. This one names Lynn Price and John Lee Price.
And what's the allegation there?
This was earlier, April 2020. The claim is Lynn Price paid John Lee Price and others to torch a stolen car, a blue 1975 Chevy Nova.
Okay, so these are federal charges. What kind of penalties are we talking about if they're convicted?
We're talking serious time. The Bar 5015 charges, both the conspiracy and the arson, each carry up to 20 years, potentially.
20 years each.
Each. And then the vehicle arson conspiracy could add another 5 years on top of that. So, yeah, significant.
It's crucial, I think, to remember the context here. The Turkey Leg Hut's decline wasn't sudden, right? There were issues beforehand.
Oh, absolutely. This didn't happen in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You had Price's prior conviction for fraud.
Right, the stolen identity refund fraud.
Yeah, and Nucky Holmes' reaction to that coming out. Then reports of management tensions between them, that whole controversial dress code issue.
That got a lot of attention.
It did. Plus, lawsuits from suppliers like U.S. Foods, from neighbors. It felt like a constant stream of controversy and legal trouble. Financial disputes were definitely highlighted in some filings. Pressure building from all sides.
And then the very public separation, Nakia Holmes filing for divorce, making her own allegations.
Exactly. Followed by reports of layoffs, Price apparently being fired from the business he co-founded.
And weren't there fires actually at Turkey Leg Hut properties too?
Yes, fires at their offices and then at the restaurant itself, all adding to the drama before the eventual bankruptcy and closure.
And through all that, Price starts a new venture.
Yeah, the Oyster Hut,
And
launched amidst all this turmoil.
what about reactions to this specific arrest?
Well, Nakia Holmes put out a statement really emphasizing her separation from Price, focusing on her healing and her own path forward.
Understandable.
John Lee Price's lawyer made a comment basically saying, be careful who you associate with. And a rev from Bar Factual 15 expressed just shock and sadness.
And the legal process now. Where do things stand?
Williams and John Lee Price were released on bond. Lynn Price, though, was detained. He was waiting for a detention hearing last we checked.
Okay.
And it's probably worth noting, John Lee Price is also facing separate federal drug charges in another state, so he has other legal issues too.
It's just quite the saga. It really underscores how this meteoric rise of a business, its cultural impact, can get so deeply tangled with personal lives and, well, now these alleged criminal acts.
It really does, a complex story.
Absolutely. And we have to stress, these are allegations, serious ones, yes, but Price, Williams, John Lee Price, they are all presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty.
Crucial point. Always.
It just leaves you thinking, doesn't it? About the incredible pressures of rapid success, the potential pitfalls, how business ambition and personal conduct can collide in such potentially destructive ways. What does it all really tell us?